Hi, I'm Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro, and today we're out on the lake and we're going to be targeting summertime bass with a Norman Deep Little N. And a Norman Deep Little N is designed to dive about 10 to 12 foot. So if I go to the lake in the summertime and the fish are concentrated in that top 10 feet of the water column, this is the bait I go to. When I fish this thing, I like to cover a lot of water as fast as I can, and I'm basically burning this thing like a rattle trap, like a lipless bait, but it's getting down to that 5 to 10 foot of water. And I just cover as much water as I can until I run into a school of fish that's chasing bait. You know, typically, I'll always have this thing tied on when I'm fishing my deep diving crankbaits in case some fish ever come to the surface and start busting bait. Instead of wearing myself out with a DD22, I'll throw that down and pick this up because I can make a long cast with this and burn it through that school of fish and make them react to it. But if they're in that top 10 foot of water, I'll pick this bait up and I'll throw it all day long. And basically what I'm looking for is out on the main lake. I'm looking for the main lake walls, main lake points is where the fish are going to be concentrated during the hot days of the summer. And you're basically looking for them fish to push bait up onto the surface or up close to the surface. When I'm looking for a color on these things, since I'm fishing for fish that are chasing a natural bait, I don't want to go to a natural colored bait because now I'm competing with thousands of other bait fish in the same area. I'll go to a blue and chartreuse, a brown and chartreuse, something that's going to stand out amongst all that other bait. That way when that fish sees it go blazing by, it just doesn't have anything to do but to react to it. When I'm burning it, I'm using a DAIWA ZILLION, the 50th anniversary reel. It's a 7:3 to 1 gear ratio. So it's really blazing fast. And I'm throwing it on, usually throwing it on 10-pound fluorocarbon line. It's a gamma line. It's real stiff, real sensitive. It doesn't have a lot of stretch to it. I like throwing it on the non-stretch lines because I can feel everything. And if a fish eats it at the end of my cast, I don't have to catch up with a bunch of slack or stretch before I can set the hook. I've got instant contact with that fish as soon as he eats it. The rod I throw it on, it's a DOBYNS 705 cranking rod. I find you don't need to go to a hugely long rod to throw these things because you're making, medium cast towards the bank. You're not making these as far as you can chuck it out over a point to get the depth. We're basically target fishing. We're looking at structure, maybe a boulder or something, and we're picking out targets to cast to instead of chucking blindly over a ledge or something. When I buy one of these lures and I get it home, before it goes on a rod, before it goes in the boat, I always change the hooks. On my deep little ends, I always match the size hook. It comes with a number 4 treble hook. So I always match the size. I put a number 4. It's an owner stinger ST36. And I always put red on it. Red's a confidence deal for me. You're reeling this bait as fast as you can by a fish. I don't know if the red makes a difference or not, but in my mind, I feel more comfortable that I'm going to catch more fish, more confidence that the red helps me. So they make it in a red, they make it in a black nickel. It's whatever you feel confidence in. So next time you're out on the water in the heat of the summer, don't overlook this Norman Deep Little N bite. If the fish are up in the top 10 foot of water, you can load the boat in a hurry. All these crankbaits, rods, line, and everything is available at Tackle Warehouse. And again, I'm Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro. See you guys on the water.